welcome to Madame After Midnight. It's a podcast where we talk about life and its many pursuits of sustainable happiness. I'm your host, Madame Donut.
And I'm your co-host, Brad Starks. Word of warning, this show could make you hungry.
Ooh, and often horny. or both. But it's okay, you guys, because we think that the kids are sleeping, so, we won't tell. Hi. So, okay.
Hey.
We had like a little crazy moment just before the beginning of the show. We're like, oh my God, it's 9:01. We're going to go start. How was your week? Tell us something special about the last week that happened to you.
Something special that happened last week. You know what? I'll tell you. I was lucky enough to find out that we got a... Oh, I can't say it because she's probably watching.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, there's probably like a surprise gift that's going to be brought over to my mom. She won't know, but that's a great thing. You had National Donut Day plus...
National Donut Day.
How did that go?
Oh my God, it's my marathon every year. So I'm only open one day a week on Saturdays. But then once a year, National Donut Day happens. Actually, it happens twice a year, but we're just going to follow the June one. Every first Friday of June is National Donut Day.
Okay.
So I go on this marathon where I open both days, and I pretty much do not sleep for like 48 hours or something. It's like a rage thing.
Ooh.
Yeah, actually, this year I was able to take a nap. Last year I couldn't at all, but I was able to take a nap, like 20 minutes, whatever. I took a shower, cleaned up, and I had to wash off the old donut smell for the next one. So I had to do that.
Put that in a bottle and sell it.
I know, right? Day old donut, fresh donut smell. We should talk to Carly about that. If she can isolate that smell. Oh my God. I love our community.
You're going to be selling the sexuality in bottles of Madame After Midnight. The essence of
donut-y reason like Anyways, tonight's really, really fun. We love our guest.
Yeah, we do.
We both do.
We do.
He is one of the funniest guys you'll ever... Well, you gotta follow him on social media because his posts are just freaking hilarious. And he's a super, super good friend of ours as well and has been a big supporter of Donut Dynamite, but of other small businesses. It's just really amazing like that. So, anyways, also, I just have to mention this. When I was thinking about him guesting on the show, I was like, oh my God, this is so hot because he is seriously the sexiest model Donut Dynamite has ever had.
And if anybody wants to see proof of that, all you gotta do is just go to the Instagram page and look at that hunk of man.
Hunk of a man. Oh. Anyways, stop it.
Okay. Let's bring him out. He's sizzling back there. Okay, so with over 60 years of experience in business of custom window treatments, Naka Drapery is one of Maui's reigning institutions and one of the most successful small businesses that the island has ever seen, history-wise. He is now here to tell us the story of its origins and all of the good that he does for the community. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Bobby. Come on.
Oh my God,
Bobby,
guys.
bring yourself out here. Is he sleeping? Get out here, fella.
Oh, yeah.
A little dance?
You go, boy. Oh, look at him. Oh, they're both going for it. You got it. You got it. Right on, Bobby.
That's a stretch out.
Yeah, really. Yeah, really good.
Just stretched out, huh?
Oh my
Thanks,
God.
Bobby. You are like the best sport ever. He's been also taking a lot of dance lessons, so I was a little intimidated with the moves, if you know what I mean. I was like, damn, man, he's got the moves.
He came ready.
I know. Whew. You hear all the audience is screaming for you.
I was kind of embarrassed back there. I was like, oh man, I don't want to go out there and all the audience out there and everyone cheering me on. It's kind of embarrassing, but.
One of the girls who looked like if she was about to faint when you came out. So.
It's Miss Mel. Probably. I've been working all day, so.
well, thank you for joining us. A little cheers for this moment. Thank you so much.
Guys.
Yay!
Some fancy.
always start with good libations.
Yes, yes, yes.
So, Naka's Drapery. We're just gonna go to, but you know what? Brad knows a whole lot more about the history in your family, of your family business. So, maybe you want to start on that, Brad, because we were talking about that, and I just know you more recently, and Brad's like got more history family-wise. So, we're not gonna go to his history, just your history.
What's going on over there?
No, just your history.
I was young. I needed the money.
That's a great line. That's a great line. No, but I mean, quite honestly, from what I know, and Bobby, you'll tell us kind of like the story. You're fourth generation Japanese, third or fourth? I forget the numbers. I'm bad at math. So,
I can't even remember anymore.
Yeah.
I think
What grade if you don't do
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah,
Fourth generation. Yeah.
And your father came here and opened up the business initially, right? And was that something that he had always been doing, or was it?
Initially, it was my grandfather, my dad's dad. He was the one that opened the business. He did Naka's upholstery and mini blinds. It was right down the road from here, at the Quanson Hunt building. Mm-hmm. So that's where he was actually in. And then my father opened a different business to his carpet and drapery. And over the years, trends change, and so business changes, and then it's me now. Yeah.
How did you decide to keep the business? Because then you kind of get into a different career prior, and
yeah, I was always told from my parents, like, don't do what we're doing. And I think every family is that. Don't do what we're doing. It's horrible, and it's hard work. So I tried the office job, and but that didn't fit me. You know, I really like to work with my hands and actual physical work. So that's when I came back, and I always wanted to do this business because I know the business. I grew up in the business. So that's why I came back and took it over. And
they just let you take over? I mean,
they didn't let me take over. I had to fight them to get the business.
I was gonna say, I was like, Mom really trusted you with this?
Yeah, for a little bit, my dad was actually my competitor for a little bit. Yeah.
Really? So wait, you started a business separately?
Yeah.
Oh, really? And then you bought them out or something? Like, hello?
Well, I actually I had the name. He gave me the name, but then he came back and he wanted to do some other things. I was like, no, wait a minute, I got this. And so, but then we were competing for a little bit, but we're still helping each other out, though.
Yeah.
It's like.
and then when you go home, like, do you still get like in this fight, like, okay, my business is better than yours?
Well, I know my business is better than yours. It's like, there's no argument. You don't argue with somebody, and that's like, no, my business is better, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah. But so. It's a family business, and you still work with your mom. I mean, I see her still working.
Yeah, she comes in.
Officially, or just
no. She just comes in whenever she wants to come in and do some work and cause some trouble, move things around, and drive me nuts. Then she goes on her way, and it's like, okay, I'm done.
and then you put it back.
Yeah, I put it back. I put it where I wanted.
One of the great things about what Bobby does, working alongside his mom, the comedian Ricky Gervais takes these sort of like obscure sort of Instagram pictures and then posts these funny posts, and she doesn't even know that she's kind of like part of the fun that he has every day. It's so fantastic. I mean, you talk about like some of those shots that absolutely hilarious.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, she finds out about it after because I show her, I tell her, and she just shakes her head and she's like, oh, but she's used to it already, and
she's just immune to it.
Yeah,
you're always like picking on her or like just putting words in her mouth, basically.
Yeah.
Like and it's just an innocent bystander at that point.
That's the funny thing, because a lot of people don't realize, that's not some of the things I say. That's not what she's saying to me. It's like she's so mean to me, but it's funny because she doesn't have any social media. But when she goes out in the stores, people always come up to her and say, "You're Bobby's mom," and then she's like, who are you? And I'm like, "And you're Bobby's mom." And he's like, "We love you," and blah blah blah. So yeah, it's funny. She just goes with it. She
like,
loves it. Yeah.
No, whatever. But yeah, she's a good sport for being in there.
Yeah,
She still hasn't disowned you.
I think she tried to,
Tried a
and then she
couple.
realized that, I won't go away. It's like, this guy keeps on coming back. So I was like, I don't know, I don't want to waste any energy. I'll just stick with him.
Oh, actually, you guys are so sweet. I mean, I see you always take care of her. You drive her around, need be. So, yeah, I think that's really sweet that you continued the family business. And well, considering you're like fourth generation, that like how are you ensuring that you can sustain it even? And I mean, you're not married, ladies. He's single. I'm just saying, how do you?
I knew that was coming.
That's when we got you on the show. Well, when I was back
Did you
there,
take
I was
that
like,
shirt off?
He's like the sexiest model. I'm like, what is going on? He's like, this is the build up to what was coming out. I was like, oh my god, like, I'm already in here. I can't get out of it.
Yeah, he's already here.
I'd have done it.
They locked me in here.
But okay, forget my question. Oh, like so, how do you sustain the business? But also, like you can't be the last generation Naka. Like is that gonna like? Do you think your family will take over? I mean, Sierra,
Well,
for example.
Nobody wants to do this, and
Right.
in fact, I'm not married. I don't have kids, so there's nobody else. I can train to take over. But the thing is, this business is really, really hard. Any kind of business, starting up now or anything, it's really hard to keep on going. There's so much competition there. Lately in the past 10 years, the competition has got a lot more fierce. Not only the big box stores are coming in, but there's a lot of other franchise stores that are coming in and taking part of the market. But sustainability, what we do is our bread and butter for forever we've been around is the local community. So we have a lot of referrals. A lot of people, we tell them, Naka, and oh yeah, we know them. They've done our family's windows and flooring, and they've done this for us. So if we keep continuing on that line, keep taking care of the local community, I'm pretty sure the sustainability will keep on going as long as we can, manage it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The past couple of years, obviously, has made a huge turn into like making everything so much harder. Tell us about the changes in the business, because like I said, in the past 10 years it's been really competitive, but the last 2 years it's not just a competition, it's really just running the business itself with equipment and materials, right? You were talking about that for a hot minute.
Yeah, it's so there was something today, one of our marketing department, they posted a question, what are we doing to kind of keep up, because he was talking about another company in hometown that shut down after 80 something years, and he posed the question, what are we doing to kind of stay in business? And when there's so many things that ran through my head the past couple of years, being that supply chain issues, finding qualified workers, and there's so many other things that it's like a domino effect. The supply chain issues, products aren't coming as their quality as they were before. So we have to make sure we can remedy that, take care of it. If it's broken or it doesn't come not working correctly, we make sure we can fix that. And there's something else. I drew a blank, but it's the shipping. Shipping is so crazy and ridiculous. And being that we're in Hawaii, it's like it takes longer to get here, and we've had so many shipments that are lost, completely lost. Nobody knows where it went, and so we're trying to. Every day is learning experience. They're trying to plan it. It's hard to plan when you don't know what's going to happen, you don't know what's going on. Yeah. But so every day it's kind of a learning experience, and so it makes it difficult because we have to kind of pick our jobs now, what we're going to do if we know we can't do certain things because the supply chain issues. We have to let the customers know we can't do that or something, and or let them know it's going to be 6 months out or something. And nobody wants to hear that, but it's like it makes kind of a depressing on our end because we want to serve the people, but there's only so much we can do. It's been crazy.
Whereas a big part of the competition are these franchise that they have pretty much, a lot of them are ready-made draperies and such, so they have it in stock already done. So how do you compete, right, as a small business that have to measure everything, custom make everything, the time that it takes. How do you compete with a company that's like, well, these are standard sized windows. We can, dress every, condo and all complex.
Yeah, no, the one thing that kind of, I think sets us apart is our customer service and our, just our quality, the things that we do. We take pride, we take a lot of pride in what we do and how to try to service things. And we know the industry here. We know what products work here, what products don't work here. So there's, there's like franchise business come in, and the hard thing competing with them is their marketing, because they have like $1 million marketing department, and they can just flood everything. We can't do that.
Right.
We rely on the old school word of mouth. People know us, and so we actually we're doing pretty good. Once we get our clients that they know us, they trust us, they're repeat customers, they spread the word around. But yeah, definitely sometimes it's hard competing with the big companies out there.
But give me an example why your service is like. I mean, we know why. I know why. But like, what the kind of service that they're gonna get, when they're purchasing from a franchise company that, quite honestly, don't care.
So the biggest thing, actually, just today, one of our friends, he's a handyman, and he does work in there was something going on, but they were trying, a customer, one of his clients was need something repaired, but nobody would do repairs. He called me up and told me about it. He's like, yeah, sent me a picture. I'm like, yeah, I can do that. I can take care of them. They were a local family. They had a business here, and but they're a local family. And I was like, yeah, I can take care of them. No problem. And he was like, wow, it's so good, because she called various other companies and nobody wanted to help her. Mm-hmm. And that's because there's no money in repairs. In our industry, no money in repairs. Everybody wants to just sell you.
Yeah.
But that's not what, of course, you want to sell and make money, you want to try to make money as a business, but you also want to be able to take care of customers to where they can, they don't have to buy new things. Yeah. And they remember that. They really remember that. That was just today. And, but the repair part, I've done repairs for other companies' clients because they refuse to do it. And it's like, how do you sell a product and not back your product up?
Right.
So that's where I guarantee we set ourselves apart from other people. And I'll go and repair other companies' products, and then I get the customer. You're like, we're not going anywhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, because you always help your integrity. Yeah. So. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I mean, everyone. You've actually done a lot of. One of the reasons why I can actually breathe here during the day is that you installed. The blinds, yeah, I don't even know what to call them. And actually in my house, because it's really hot, I get the morning sun. So thank you for that. Yeah, you're so amazing. Thank you. So ladies, if you need repairs for your windows,
cost extra for the chapless.
That's right. You have to be a very good customer for this sexy man to actually remember, because all these ladies are gonna be calling them. I'm so excited.
Oh no.
Just so kidding. I'm kidding. So you do a lot of dancing, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So tell us about that, because I love that you kind of you work very hard, and then I see you do a lot of really fun stuff. You're always traveling. You're going hiking. You go on hikes with me sometimes. Like, we go hiking. You do runs, as in like you do races.
Yep.
It's like,
I wouldn't call it a race. It's just like a trying to survive.
But you get on it and you do it and you finish it. And you've done it so often. Like, how do you even find the time? Like, being a self-employed, you're a businessman. You're running the business. You physically do a lot of the work, and you're all over the place. Like, how much energy?
It takes a little bit of planning, luck, and
luck.
So one thing I realized, I just, when certain things come up that I haven't done and I want to do, or it interests me, I don't say no. I say yes and try it out.
Yes.
And I've done yeah, the runs, not races. I've done runs, and I've tried for, a few years, but it's like I can't get it. It's like it's not for me. But I keep on trying. And it's like anything that comes up, I'm game for it. I want to go in and try it. So yeah, I find fun things. Dancing was the one big thing. I never danced when I was younger, and I tell people this, like, I was always one of the guys on the wall at the high school dancing, and the tough guy, and like, those people are stupid, dancing stuff.
Right,
like, I don't want to do that, and it's because that I was afraid to do it. And now it's like, I tried it out, and this is fun. Just a camaraderie, the people around you, and it's something totally different. And so I've tried, salsa, bachata, and.
Can you show me a few moves?
We'll move back the furniture.
I don't think we have enough room.
I don't
knock
have
some
to
stuff
write
over.
music, but like maybe just a few steps. Okay, what
So-
are you learning recently?
So what I'm doing now is West Coast swing. This one.
Swing.
God,
Oh,
that's
So there's it's not.
Yeah. Keep it tight in there, guys.
It's a step, triple step. So
Oh, I'm really hard at being led. I'm
Yeah,
okay, so what do I do?
so it's
Step. Oh, do it
Step.
then.
step, triple.
Oh my god, I trip!
Triple step.
Oh.
So it's like 8 count.
Yeah,
Step, triple step, triple step, and you can do spin.
Oh my god, I want to spin!
It's like, oh my gosh, it's gonna spin. Keep spinning.
Free drugs, you guys. Thank you. No,
And it's free?
spinning. You get so dizzy.
Oh,
it's like
okay,
you're on
okay.
drugs. Thank you so much for that. I actually should have gotten music for the right dance.
Yeah,
But I
it's a
didn't know.
surprise.
I didn't know what kind of dance.
Well,
we wanted
it's
to
probably
do.
safer that way because there's not enough room. We probably get into it. And it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
I know. Don't get me too excited.
There was a really funny thing that we did together with the help of a couple of other people up in Pukalani. There was a special soccer sort of benefit kind of like thing, and there were 2 times that we did it, and it was me, Bobby, and 2 other guys, and we were just doing all these crazy sort of like dancing for like the kids, there's a funny kind of a thing. But then I remember there was a photograph of me, you, and one of the other soccer parents, and we were the sultans of dance and swing.
Oh.
And there is an absolutely crazy photograph of us out
I
there.
gotta see it.
Oh my god!
I need to find and get a.
It's
photo of this.
hilarious.
I think I didn't have a shirt on in that picture.
Yeah,
You
you did.
didn't.
Yeah, I didn't.
You did it.
You're
You
always
didn't.
naked. Okay, ladies, he really does post a lot of his
No,
pictures
wait.
naked.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. What? Okay, so
Yeah,
it's like
the most famous one is the red pillow. Everyone knows
red
about
pillow,
the
the
red pillow.
bathroom. I mean,
Oh, the
like shower. He's in the shower. Oh my god, I love it.
Very strategically placed items.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hilarious. I actually got a lot of that from you. Like, people should thank you that I got a lot of ideas from you, like posting all these naked pictures and strategically putting stuff so that you don't quite get in trouble.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's actually inspired by you. So everybody thank Bobby.
You did good.
It's a good thing my phone's on airplane mode right now. I'll be getting all kinds of texts and calls.
Right? No, but seriously, thank you for that.
One of the cool things, sort of, about the both of you guys is that you're unexpected stage performers. Bobby, I forget what the name of that
Yeah.
play that you were
I
in.
did a play called Hop High. Yeah, it was back in like 2011 or something. Somewhere around there. Yeah, it was on stage at the Lahaina Theater. It was an amazing thing on his Mother's Day weekend. My first play ever, and it had an absolute blast.
It was really good.
It was nothing compared to what she did though.
Oh,
Oh yeah, it was you're singing. sort of-
cabaret. Yeah, that was one of those weird things that just happened. I seriously didn't think it. I really thought that they wanted donuts. That's why they called me in for the second time, but nobody asked for it. And then they gave me a roll, so I was like, that's interesting.
So because this is an interesting story, but I don't think we ever. So you went into the audition with donuts just to give them,
No,
and then they
no,
were just
no.
like, "Hey, sing this."
No, I did go in there and audition. It's just that I think I didn't really believe that they would call me back. And when they did, I was just like, oh, they're really curious about the donuts. Like, they want donuts. like to get attention. You know what I mean?
Got you.
And so no. Because I donated donuts sometimes to fundraising events there and for the theater and stuff, and it's fun. So I was like, oh, they just want donuts. So then they gave me a roll. I was like, they don't need to give me a roll to get donut donations.
And then they're like, no, we really like you. We want to. That's funny.
That's fun.
That's funny. And I mean, Bobby, did you have to go through a whole audition process?
It was they actually. So my classmate was one of the people in the performance. I mean, not in the play actually, but she was one of the background people. So they saw some of my character, how I was on Facebook, and they invited me down to help them do a reading. They, oh yeah, we need somebody to do a reading for this part, and I was like, yeah, sure, I can do that. I mean.
You always say yes.
Yeah, I'm just reading at the table. What's going on with that? And after I read through it, you're like, you're perfect. You should do it. Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, what is going on? Yeah, they trapped me in there. It's
just like we trapped you here tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
Salsa dance.
That's awesome. Oh, that's so cool. I mean, how long did that show run?
It went only for 2 days. It was for the Mother's Day weekend. So it was like the background is like a local family called Hapai. Local family gets pregnant, and all the craziness goes on with it, And
you got pregnant in the show?
No, I didn't get pregnant.
Okay.
I hope not.
No, you got somebody pregnant?
No.
No.
I hope not. We don't need any more little Bobbies running around.
Oh, that's not true.
It was my competition. Somebody
to compete with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm hotter.
So they described it as I was the perverted best friend of the husband, the guy. And apparently they wrote the role specifically for me.
They thought you perverted?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea why.
No, you had
Mind-blowing,
to. Yeah, right?
What's going on?
So, I want to go back to the small, like how you support a lot of small businesses, and I just kind of want to go back to the conversation because I think it's very important. We mentioned competing against chains, basically, which in any industry, like in the food industry, there's always there's a bunch of new fast food restaurants opening, and people are like so excited about them.
Yeah, we see that.
Yeah, it still amazes me. I really don't understand it, but it's like, oh, that's really the state. Like that's really what is happening. And even if we know that people should be, buying your service before these chains, like why is it so important? Like I just kind of want to talk about this again because Chef Kyle had mentioned that one of the he posted something a few weeks ago where he got like 700 comments, and it was a question about like, oh, your favorite restaurant that's closed now, right? And he said how, oh, that's kind of amusing to get all these comments, but it's also very, very sad considering a lot of those businesses are no longer around, obviously for a reason. I mean, I know the answer to this in my mind, but I just feel like I want to hear what you think, why you continue to support small businesses, and why it's important for other people to do so.
Well, I remember something that it was said before, small business is the lifeblood of the community. Without the small businesses, you wouldn't have the character of where, what the community is. And so, knowing that, and we are the only ones that are going to support ourselves. The big businesses aren't going to come in. They're not coming in to support small businesses. They're not. So they come in to just take what they want and what they need and do whatever they have to do to get it. They'll do it. And being small business, I know some of the challenges that we face, which is numerous challenges. So it's this is what I feel would keep my business more sustainable too, is supporting the small businesses, building up other companies, small companies that are local, that know the people, that want to give back to the community, support, and that's why I continue to do it. And it's always when I see any kind of small business, anybody succeed, it's like that just makes everything so much better. Because there's so much challenge, numerous challenges. You know challenges we go through.
Oh God, yeah, it's tough. I actually this past weekend I had this gentleman come up to me, like, and he's come in for donuts before. But he said to me, "I'm so sad that you increased your price from $5 to $6." And I was like, "Excuse me," I said, "I'm not mad at you, but I had to school him." And I was nice about explaining, or I wasn't explaining myself. I felt like he knew why, but just because we're so entitled to the cheapest price and still get the service, like sometimes people forget to have a little bit of tact, right? So when he said that, I was like, "Excuse me, that really hurts me." I said, "I just want to let you know that hurts me because I have not increased my prices since before the pandemic. You're paying way more gas, right? You're paying more for ingredients straight from the grocery store without you having to do anything to it. I have to also buy more expensive ingredients and still have to do something to it. So, what gives? So that means I just have to give it for free. Like, I love what I do. I mean, you continue the tradition of your family business, not just because you got nothing else better to do, but, there is something in your heart that you want to continue, like the tradition, and even not just your family tradition, but being a small business on Maui that makes it so much more unique. Like, I just think it's really important. Like you were saying last time, how artisanal work is just trivialized now, like people just make the comment. And he even said, this gentleman said, I was like, "Oh, I'm from Ohio, I'm used to paying $1 for a donut." And I was like, "Okay." I said, "How much do you pay for milk here versus in Ohio?" Like, again, I had a full-on conversation with him. He was actually here for a while. And then when he left,
I can see that in you.
Yeah, I went on and on. But when he left, he actually thanked me. And when he left, I actually wrote down another business that he should check out. That's like, it's really fancy for what it is. Actually, I was recommending a food truck.
Another one.
I was recommending Kitoko.
I want to go try that.
Yeah, if I look at his food, it's like it's coming from a food truck, quote unquote. But again, like making the extra effort to make things better, right? Like you're really giving good customer service to people. You've worked with me, you've worked with some friends, and I know how you do your work. We don't take that lightly, and people like that or businesses like that, like we want them to make it. I'm not just saying it from my own case, obviously, but it is true. When people thank us for what we do, it's because they really, really appreciate it. So I'm like, well, support. That's really the only way we can continue to do what we do.
Yeah. The one thing I was thinking about when you're talking about you pay more for gas and you pay more for your products, and why wouldn't you want to pay more for this donut is one of a kind. You can't get it anywhere else. You can get gas from here, but you're okay with paying more for where you can get anywhere.
Yeah.
You can't get these donuts anywhere. The taste, the flavors, what is what's the work that's putting to them. You can't get that anywhere. And like, complain like $1.
Yeah, but that's why I had to give him my piece, because I know it was a valid thing. I wasn't being selfish. I'm not being selfish when I had to increase my price. And he was just like, you know exactly why. Yeah. You just had to say that, and I had to correct you, And like I said, he thanked me.
Yeah.
In the end, because it is something that I think it's so easy for us sometimes to forget the behind the scenes in any kind of industry. Every industry has its own hardship, and when we don't understand, it's like you can't trivialize it.
I think that we want to also hang on to that. You're talking about the new restaurants coming in and fast food. Everything's like cookie cutter and how it goes. I'm not looking forward to that. I want to kind of hold on to the old school, because there's a lot of restaurants, they had their certain flavors at the restaurants. You know the flavors you're going to get at those restaurants.
Yeah.
And it's like, you go there for that, and just everything that comes with it. And we want to hold on to those things. And the also small business companies out there, because once that's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
And it's good having these other companies. They bring in actual jobs and things, but then at what cost? Sometimes we think about it.
Yeah, big picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's sad because I can never compete against these other fast food chains as well when it comes to their benefits. So when I was still open, we were still open a few days a week. Of course, we needed help, and it was so hard to keep people because they will go to the chains, they will go to the resorts, and I couldn't compete. So now I'm just like, I hate to say this, but I can't create jobs for people when I can't keep them. And again, the value for artisanal work isn't as highly regarded as before. In fact, when I talk to a lot of young chefs, it makes me kind of sad a bit sometimes because the idea of interning is gone. They go to school and they come out of school thinking, okay, now I'm a chef. But a lot of what you really learn is outside of school, like life experience when you're on the job. Exactly. And so this makes me sad because the head of culinary college is retiring, Chef Cheech, and who's going to take over? Because there's not a lot of mentors to continue that tradition too, of like teaching all these new young chefs. And she came from old school where you keep studying your craft outside of school. Chef Spear, he also retired, and he used to run that school, and then he ran Maui Food Innovation. After he retired, nobody wanted to continue the work. And the project of that organization is to help start small businesses, like unique small businesses. So it's just we're losing the guidance. We're losing the schools basically. So and you're not having babies, so who's going to continue? That we know of. So if you know, come forward now. I'm just kidding.
This is like turned into like a Maury Povich show. Thanks for coming, Bobby. If you open that freezer, there's 8 girls with babies. Come out behind you.
Oh my God, that's a great idea.
Don't you remember me?
And they're all the same age. Like, that was a good summer.
Oh my God. Yeah. They probably have that reputation we don't know, okay? Anyways.
I'm a virgin.
He's a virgin. Yes, he is a virgin, you guys. So ladies, trying to teach him a few things.
Yes, please.
I have a whip you can borrow.
What's that for? You'll find out. You'll find out, all right.
Oh my God.
One of the questions I actually wanted to have Bobby talk about in detail.
Okay.
Bobby, can you tell us about? So business was doing sort of kind of like going along as usual. COVID hit.
Oh my God.
Okay.
My brain. Sorry.
Yeah. Tell us about sort of what that shock was like, and then how you just did this fantastic thing as far as reaching out to sort of like the community and just, really coming through. Please tell us that story.
Yeah, so that was, I think I was in, I went to California. I did a 5K up there, and when I came back in March, that's when everything shut down. And so we're doing business, and of course I keep track of our numbers and stuff. And so when we shut down in April, our revenue cut like 70%. So we're doing like 30% of what we normally do, and that's like almost killers. Yeah. So my sister came up with this thing about getting masks, because there was, as everyone knows, at that time there was no mask for the frontline workers and hospitals and other people, and people at risk out there. So she came up with this idea to get bring in some masks from one of her distributors, and So I jumped on that. I was like, I want to do that too. Because, my mom was a nurse, and I remember she telling me she used to be in charge of like the supply closet and stuff, and she was like absolutely like crazy about how can this happen that they don't have any medicine. So she used to be in charge of all that, and it's like that's not supposed to happen, blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, what can we do? It's like, so I dumped a bunch of money, brought some masks in, and at that time I was convinced that our business wasn't going to survive. Because you drop 70% in revenue. It's like how do you survive in that? You still got to pay your bills, your rent, and all that other stuff. So I was like, but I at that point I made a decision. I was like, you know what? I don't think we're gonna survive. I told my employees I can pay you guys for 2 more months if you want to stay on work or if you want to go on unemployment. And they were like, but this is what I want to do. I want to bring in masks. I want to convert our office into the sewing workshop. I want to convert it into a mask making shop. And they were like, oh yeah, let's go, let's do this. They're all gung ho. So they go, sure, okay, let's do this. And for April, May, we just made tons of masks. We made over 1,200 masks that I remember counting. And we brought in a bunch of tons of I think we spent over $19,000 bringing in the KN95s and surgical masks, and we brought all those in, and it came in. We were giving them out to the hospital. Of course, at that time we couldn't go and donate because it wasn't getting to where they would need to go. So I had some nurse friends that I gave it to them, and they just dropped it off, and people just took them and used them. And we were giving to at-risk people, the elderly people, and so we're just giving them away. And we were hoping, we're thinking that maybe some money would come back to them, and donations started pouring in, coming back. So we were able to cover some of the costs, not all of it though, but we were cover some of the costs. But when June came around, something unexpected happened. People wanted window coverings. And you know how the construction industry took off. Everyone's at home, and they were like, we want to do remodels. So that's when everything took off again. And so it was like I was ready to fail. I was ready to close the business, and then it just took off. And from there, it kept on going.
That's awesome.
And so it was,
wow, that's wild. I didn't know the timing. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was, and I'm sure there's like the mask helped. So people are like, it's a good company. They're really into the community and stuff. And
You're like that though. You're like this angel. Like you just drop off goodies to people. I mean, all the time I see that. I mean, right behind you is a freezer. Did I tell you the whole story? I think I might have. I should have told you. You should know about it. Anyways.
I might have heard something about it.
Yeah, so
Be very politically correct about this
but
story,
he is
okay?
amazing.
Okay, good.
Because he always
Good.
watches for me, okay?
Yeah.
That's one thing.
Who?
My bookkeeper.
Oh, yeah. Now I remember
he's
the
so
story.
strict.
Yeah.
Like, he's strict with me, and I'm always like, pouting, Like, I want to do this, I want to do that. And he's always, he's almost like fatherly or brotherly about his care, But anyways, he was helping me manage whatever money I have. And it's like, well, your freezer's broken. You should buy a new one. And I was like, no. I'd rather spend it on blah, blah, blah. And then, anyways, he's like, oh, you think you're the lucky, you think you're so lucky? And I was like, yeah, I'm the luckiest people you'll ever meet. In less than 30 minutes, you texted me. I was like, hey, do you need a freezer? And I was seriously like, what the, like, I know I didn't tell you, like, nobody was there, we walked early in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, It's like, nobody heard that. So I just thought that was so wild. And even now, like, every time he doubts me, I will remind him that when I said that, a freezer came and appeared, like my angel Bobby came with the freezer. And, extra gift about, or like special about that is that, okay, so I got the freezer. I didn't turn it back on right away because I'm only open once a week. So, I minimized what I need to freeze. Anyhow, my brother called randomly. He's like, hey, I have a meeting in Oahu, and he was just going to fly in for the meeting and go back to California. But his family was like, well, we might as well make a vacation out of it. And so he said, can you join us? I was like, normally I couldn't because it was the same weekend that we had that event at Mahalo Ale Works. So I have to make all of these doughs. I don't, I was like, I don't have time to to make the doughs ahead of time, and then I was like, wait, I have a freezer now. I literally like turned that thing on, and I was like, oh my god, it really works. I'm like, shit, like yeah, I'm coming. So I got to see my brother because now I have a freezer to get ready for the event for the weekend. Like so.
Yeah,
Like seriously, I mean, you're an angel.
And that was like the first time I had the donut ice cream, and it's like,
oh yeah,
and I had it in the float too, and it's like,
yes.
So it all comes around. It all
Exactly. This is our donut. It's like the community, and like what you're saying, I think there's magic in that, in your kindness, because I believe that's why in June, just before you thought you could, you might shut down. Things change, and yeah, I think that's really your good karma.
Yeah, I think from talking about sustainable part, the reason why I do some of those things is, kind of it makes me feel good for one thing, and it's sort of like the old school way when on Maui where there was like the camps, different camps, the plantations and stuff, and there'd be like different nationalities and stuff, but they would all come together and share their food. Any kind of excess they had, they would share. And everyone would trade, and that's why you get different kind of flavors and things. And but so I try to keep that kind of mentality throughout what I'm doing. And so a lot of these things, like this freezer, came from one of my clients, and she was like, "Hey, I have this, and I'm not gonna need it anymore. Can you help me get rid of it?" And that's when I called you. So, and there's a lot like that I come across. People tell me, "Oh, you're like a couch magnet." I come across a lot of sofas, couches, because people are like
couch magnet with ladies on it, hopefully.
I haven't had one with. Maybe they're under it. If they're under it, that wouldn't do any good. But
Oh God.
I'm sorry,
I have no idea what's going on here.
No, it's just like, what the hell? You're trying to get him to admit to something.
because he doesn't have Tinder. Okay, or one of our previous guests had Tinder, so at least I could just refer them to like, hey, swipe right? Swipe right on whatchamacallit, right? Whereas you don't have Tinder, so I'm like extra, like, hello.
She's pimping you.
Pimping. It's kind of one of my dreams, actually. Like, I've always kind of fantasized about being the pimp. Like, I wanted to be the pimp. In fact, I wanted to be the future Hugh Hefner, but hotter.
Okay.
And way better robe. See-through robe. Oh God, that's something good design. But anyway, yes.
I have fabric. No.
He has fabric. No, seriously. Oh God, yeah. Save this. Well, we'll do this. We're gonna make this happen. We have the equipment, and the equipment. Yeah, ladies got the equipment.
How do you know I have it?
Well, I'm guessing just because of this.
Have you seen some of the pictures?
Magnetism.
Can I give you some more, my friend?
Sure, I'm getting drunk right now.
I know, like, I think I'm getting really silly with all of these bubblies.
No alcohol in there.
Yours don't.
I gotta watch that guy over there. He's like pouring.
I know.
What's going on back there?
You stay hydrated.
Yeah, he's really good
They're
at
always.
this.
There you go, sir.
Thank you.
Like, sometimes we'd have a meeting, and then with 3 bottles later, we're like, wait, how did that happen? It's like, again, we are too pretty to do
How
that.
did what happen?
But yeah, actually, one of the things I always appreciated about you is that you've always supported Donut Dynamite, but also as a friend, you've always reminded me how to make it sustainable, or at least keep that mentality of keeping it sustainable, because, I'm stubborn. Like this past weekend, my weekend was so much easier because I kept the same menu for both Friday and Saturday. That way my prep for the glazes and all the toppings was just done in one day. So my Saturday wasn't as difficult, and I was actually able to nap for like a few minutes. And like I said, wash the day-old donut smell for the fresh donut smell for Saturday, right? So that was kind of cool, but I didn't feel, I don't know, it's probably a sickness or something. I didn't feel fulfilled that I made the same, I had the same menu for both days. I wanted to create something special every day, and actually lately I'm kind of like, oh God, I haven't done specials lately, just because, sometimes you just are trying to make it. You know, you're so busy. You're just like, this is all I can do. But I don't know. It makes me unhappy when I can't.
Yeah,
make
so
that
one
action.
of the best things someone told me early on is you need to find balance. So sometimes you won't be able to accomplish some of the things that you want to, because we want, like you and I, we want to do so much. We want to do this and we want to create this and do so many things. But you know, we got to remember that, you know, if we're not in balance, we don't keep our health and things, and our sanity mostly of all. You know, if we don't keep sane, then, you know, we're not going to be able to, you know, sustain ourselves. You know, continue doing what we love doing.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out that balance thing still.
It's a daily thing, you know. And I have to stop and think about it and think, you know, do I want to keep on working today? I mean, this morning I came in and work. I was in work at 6 o'clock, and it's normal for me to come in really early and get things done and work. But you know, I had to stop myself in certain times. It was like, you know, 2 o'clock is like, I can keep on working, but I should probably go home.
Yeah.
You know, I can make this better. I can do this better. And it's like, wait a minute, I should probably go home because it's gonna catch up to me. Then what I thought I could make better is not gonna happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, it's not till recently that we're really talking a lot more about mental health because, you know, as a business person, it's, again, this is the thing that people forget about what you have to do in the behind the scenes, you know, behind what you have to do, like when they see you and installing the draperies, it's not really the end of work. You know, you have to manage people, you know, and you've you've kind of expanded and then shrunk back smaller. Where are you at now with your business?
I'm still trying to expand, but the hard thing is trying to find qualified workers. It's hard to find qualified workers, and if you find workers, then you have to train them. And training people right now is hard because of so much other obstacles that are in place with the supply chain and things are coming. So you need to instruct them on different things and what to look out for, to check on. Normally we would have to check on certain orders or things, but now we need to constantly check on things, make sure things are going through. You know, the orders going through, messages are getting through, and things are happening. If not, you know, the world's really crazy. So the ball gets dropped here and there. It can easily get dropped anywhere, and nobody knows about it after that. So you know, train people not only to do their job, but to do the extra work to kind of make sure that, you know, things get going. And it's really difficult.
Yeah. How many employees do you have now?
I have 2 employees. And my mom doesn't really count because she's not getting paid, so she's not an employee.
And she can fire you some days.
Yeah, she can fire me. Or she can just come in, look at me, and walk out. And
So what are you doing?
Mom's here. Yes. Oh no, she's leaving. I just came to check.
Oh, just to check on you. Make sure you're
Now,
doing-
just like on a serious note, just quickly, you had said, you know, with the supply chain problems, do you say that some shipments just didn't even come into port? Seriously?
It gets completely disappeared. It gets lost. So, you know, of course, we get sometimes big jobs. Big jobs, you know, a lot of jobs come in second day FedEx, so it comes in pretty quick. But the bigger jobs, they ship it freight. I mean, because of the fact that, you know, the cost of shipping it FedEx is expensive. So they ship it freight and it comes in, but then it goes through so many different freight forwarding companies, and it gets lost. And, it's completely weird because a couple weeks ago, I had a FedEx guy deliver a UPS package, and I was like, "That's a UPS box," and So I don't know how it happens or what's going on, but you know, they got it figured out, I guess, but to a point because things get lost. You know,
Yeah.
and it's really common that things get lost.
Wow, man.
Crazy.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
Anyways.
Headaches.
Whew. Okay, sorry. I was a little dizzy today. Dizzy and ditzy. But yeah, any last minute advice even to people who are, you know, they're trying to start their business at this time? You know, like it's crazy. Like
Shoot.
What?
because we need people like you to kind of, in a way, mentor new people. Maybe not necessarily your line of work, but how do you have the balls to start business, your own business at this point? You know what I mean?
I can say don't give up. Just keep on trying. And so I tell people I make mistakes, numerous mistakes every single day. But I've gotten to the point where it's like I've learned that my mistakes won't kill me. Shake it off and go on and make the next mistake. Keep on going on, and each mistake, learn from it. Keep on going, and help out other people. Sometimes when some things that I get frustrated and I get absolutely crazy, and it's like I can't. This is what's going on, and I was like, stop. Can I go and help someone else out? Just to get myself out of my own head. I go and help somebody else or talk to somebody else, and say, hey, do you need something, or what can I do for you? And then go and help them and come back with a fresh head.
That's great.
Yeah, that's a great advice, because sometimes we forget about that. It's actually therapeutic to take your mind off of the work that you're being so frustrated with, and when you help somebody else, it's that extra energy, like it feels good, that feel good energy, and then we're like, okay, well, I guess life's good.
Yeah, and never be afraid to laugh, even at yourself, especially yourself.
Oh my God, that is what we
so
do.
that's kind of why I joke around a lot, because I have to keep it light. I have to keep it. Others, if you get too serious,
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit because of how social media is out there with a lot of negative message.
It's easy to get caught up in all that.
Yeah. And most people remember the negative things first. So I feel like, with you, I see that you're always trying to brighten people's day, and you're always making people laugh. And we do need more of Bobby. Sorry. I was going to pimp him out again.
I think they got the message already.
That's why I had to stop. See, I cracked myself up.
Yeah.
Anyways. Thank you so much, Bobby, for joining us tonight and being such a good sport. You're still my friend, I think, after the show, please.
I'll leave you with one thing. I just last week I came up with so there's a million things to be upset with, and there's also a million things to be happy about. And basically the choice is yours. What do you want to choose to pursue? The anger, hate, or happiness. So when I get in the mode, I stop and think, what am I grateful for? What are things out there? And go back to the other side and say, I'm happy again.
Yeah, there's more to be happy about.
Man,
life is too short to be.
That's for sure.
And that's why he's so hot, ladies. Again, before we get, and his nipples are hard.
They wanted me to come out with my nipples hard. I'm like, so you want me to be back there playing with my nipples before I come out? How is this gonna be like?
Oh my God! Thank you so much, Bobby, for being a good sport and joining us tonight.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And thanks everybody for staying with us till the end of the show. If you're watching us on YouTube, we will be back again next week at 9:01 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time. And really, really good news. If you're on Spotify, you can now watch the show as well, because we now have a video podcast on Spotify. So follow us on YouTube.
I made the big time.
Yeah, on Spotify. And we'll see you again next week. Thank you so much. Mahalo. Aloha.
Aloha.